Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Normally, we go with a clip from the show. However, the yap session before the interview, technical issues on my end, doesn't sound the greatest. I cut some things out. I just wanted to let everyone know up front. Either you could skip it or you could try to give it a whirl, as the kids say. But the interview with T News is great, so please listen to that and please accept my humblest of apologies. And hopefully, I'll get it right next time.
Popping and locking, Magnum scrutinizing, Papa Max Podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 23 of Poppin' Mags Pinecast. Mags, we're up to 150 days now. Nice round number.
That is a nice number.
Now officially, a few weeks means at least 150 days. So
that's no small feat.
Are you going to contact Merriam-Webster for that? Get the dictionary updated?
Theta Lab's going for the world record on the definition of a few weeks.
We should call Guinness. We should call him. So yeah, there was actually a really big drop on Tdrop yesterday, and I'm not sure. Did you see how that drop went?
I did. I got one.
Did you?
Did
you see the new mechanics that were put into place for that drop?
Yeah, I think somebody's listening to us.
I'm pretty sure that we had this idea months ago, but
Right.
It's about time, pre-fund only on the wait list. Congratulations, Tdrop. Let's give a round of applause here. And look how cleanly it went.
Oh, it went smooth. Smooth.
Yeah, now you're going straight from the drop to the aftermarket action, It's like 1-2 punch. Here we go.
Yeah, shout out to HGH, your boy, right?
Yeah, what a drop. That was great.
Yeah, the only one who had more success on that drop than HGH was the guy who got 25 of them, possibly through fake accounts, but who knows?
So. Okay, well, you bring up a hot topic here, and my only problem with this is that nobody knows the entire story of what's going on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious how you feel about that. If these are all legitimate KYC'd accounts of people that he knows that have allowed him to create and manage their accounts for them, is there anything wrong with what he did?
No, and it's definitely possible. I know in the Pine in SPS and some of the other ones, we're all familiar with each other, and sometimes we want what someone else has and they want to sell. So we work a deal.
Right.
I got nothing against that, and it's possible, but I think it's like, to me, I don't have anything in this fight. It doesn't affect me. I was lucky enough to get one.
Yeah, I wasn't, so it does affect me.
That many that went over there to that individual for that, like, that's a lot of people. So I think it's a percentage thing. Like, what's the percentage of hitting a couple numbers on the lotto? The more numbers that you're going to project to get, the harder it's going to be to do. So I don't know how, they went to KYC a while ago, Tdrop, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I can't tell you the mechanisms that they did to verify the ones that didn't exist. I'm not sure.
Right.
It could be legitimate. It just, the optics potentially look bad. I think I don't think they look good. And I think it kind of sucks for somebody who's playing by the rules with their one account. But if they put the work in to get that, I think it's one of those things where I think maybe they need to take a look at it. And like, I'd be fine, believe it or not, I'd be fine with Theta just taking a look at it and letting us know, like, we don't need to see all those deposits or whatever, but hey, take a look at it, see if there's something fishy with that, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that,
so
how do you fix it?
All right. There's a very simple way to fix this thing. And whether or not these accounts are legit KYC or not is one thing. If somebody's out there stealing IDs and taking people's pictures in order to get accounts verified and just get in there like that, I'm not sure that anyone's going to be able to tell, right? Here is what needs to be done, okay? Tdrop, I'm going to solve this for you right here, right now. It doesn't matter if this was legit or not, these accounts. Here's how it gets fixed. What's our favorite coin that we're earning for free right now, my man?
Kyle? Oh,
No.
Sorry.
No.
It is our play.
Our play. And do you know what our play does with each user's account?
It monitors the ISP.
Yeah, and it gives them a score based on how they watch, their viewing habits, what kind of system they're using to view, whether they're streaming online or using a tablet or using the app, right?
Right.
So now all these accounts have user scores.
Okay.
Right? So now the way that you fix this is that you start giving Tdrop accounts user scores. Okay, users that have no NFTs that are just bombing into these drops to just flip them, they have low user scores. All right, they should not be getting whitelist access to anything above anybody else. Users that have NFTs that are collectors and doing legitimate trading, they have high user scores, right? So after the silvers get in line, now you have the high user scores get in line. And now, all of a sudden, guess what?
What?
Whatever his name is with 30 accounts with his friends and family that are just flipping drops, they're not going to get any anymore. Case solved.
I like it.
So yeah, well now speaking of drops coming up, the same day now, did you see the landing page that hit Tdrop for the upcoming drop?
Fuse Wars.
Oh yeah, here we go, guys. It's about to get real. I've heard a ton this year, so many different people saying it over and over. Oh, NFTs are just JPEGs. They really don't have any utility. No NFT has utility. Heard it plenty of times.
Right.
Guess what, dude? They can no longer say that. They can't say it anymore after this drop because you know what this drop does.
We're going to be
each
able
and every one of those
Wars.
NFTs. Yeah, each and every one of those NFTs is a character in the game, and you need the NFT to play the game. And
that game
mind-blowing.
looks good.
It looks like a really fun game to play, and it's just the beginning of it. So I encourage everybody out there, just go to that landing page, click the sign up, and just put your email address in. Tdrop is just kind of taking the temperature of the community to see how this drop is going to go. So let's show up in force and support our boy.
Easy as that. Put your email in, sign up.
Yep, that's it.
Taking over.
So I wanna send a thank you out to you, Megs.
Oh,
I give you a hard
Really?
time. Yeah, I gave you a hard time probably last week and the week before, but
You
this
give me
week.
a hard time every freaking day, dude. But go ahead.
Oh, that's because I love you, man. But this week you gave me the heads up that the ThedaCon stream was on Theta TV, and they were giving away the SPS emotes. So thank you very much. I get my days confused quite often. And
I want to get out of the doghouse.
Alerted me to that, so I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was and you got your Bones Nasty.
I did. I was able to get the Bones Nasty one as well. That was great.
Do you want to talk about what we talked about, or what Brian?
Yeah, I mean,
talked about?
I think everybody's aware that there's a ThedaCon drop that happened on Open Theta, right? And 100 of those NFTs were SPS badges.
Yep.
I mean, I've heard whispers. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it seems like maybe there's something possibly in store, kind of raffle style for one of these. I don't, this is not official. I don't officially know, but that's kind of what it sounded like.
Well, yeah, and I'll just say this, at least for the dedicated tens and tens out there, who will recall when Brian Macer came on and became a friend of the podcast. I asked Brian. I said, all those 2,400 NFTs, and there's there was 24 creators, right? 2,400 NFTs, 100 each per NFT.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, a lot of people, they're doing different raffles and giveaways and promotions and stuff like that. And I said, is Secret Pineapple Society doing anything with that? And he says he has not been told that, but he said that does not mean they aren't going to do anything. There's been, if people pay attention to some of the other NFTs that they've done promotions with, the creators have done things with, I think something similar is going to happen with Secret Pineapple Society. Now, I don't know that, but basically something's going to, like they usually would do a drawing for the token ID and they get something, right?
Yeah, it was a wheel spin. Yeah.
So I think something's going to happen. I think that's the big takeaway from that is
something could possibly happen.
Or send them to my MetaMask.
I'll hold them for you.
So speaking of that, Sheriff, can I put you on the spot?
I was waiting for it.
So as many of you know, we actually have a good turnout into the Secret Pineapple Fantasy Football League thing we're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This year. And one of the prizes for the pineapple only, the people that actually have the pineapple,
free entry.
have the pineapple,
yep. Yeah.
The free entry, is you donated one of those NFTs.
Yes.
So
I'm going to send them one of those NFTs. Yes.
What happens if that NFT is the one that gets picked? Because I think it's roughly like a 1 out of 100 chance that then an NFT could get the wheel and maybe get a prize of some sort. Are you going to commit to, if that NFT, which we're going to need that token ID soon, gets picked, are they going to get the prize, or are you going to be like, yeah, read the fine print? I said I'd give you the NFT, so it's going to be after the season. So, you always say you're so humble. So I just would like to hear your take on this.
Well, first of all, I'm not as humble as you. Okay.
True.
And I'm just going to abide by my word. That's that's what I do.
So you're not gonna give any prize associated with that NFT? I mean, because I think it should go to the pool.
Well, I mean, listen, if the drawing happens after the person wins the pool, then congratulations if they win. But
Well,
hey, what do you expect from me, man?
Okay, I just had to get it on there because I figured that's what you wanted to do, but I don't think you wanted to advertise that. And people probably forgot about that, so I wanted to make them. I just want to get you on record with this. So I'm glad I did it.
Hey, listen, it's going to be a real problem for me to have if that actually happens. So I will accept that problem if it comes.
Well, I think it would have been easier to say yeah and then just assume it wasn't going to happen. But we're going to need that token ID, Sheriff.
We'll see about that.
Well, I'll find your wallet and I'll pull all the ones you have and I'll grab all those token IDs.
Don't you do that. You stay out of my wallet. Oh, man.
Okay.
So, I hear you're having a big week on our play over there.
Oh boy. Yep. The multipliers are working great. And I've kind of been just watching the same movie over and over again, and it's not the greatest, but
can you quote it?
I can quote different lines. It's dubbed the Devil's 3 is the name of it.
Yep.
I don't know if you caught it. You probably have.
Yes, I have caught that one a few times. Yes.
Basically, I'll just give everyone wants to know the plot of the movie. But essentially, and this is, I think, should get made today, maybe in English or something. But basically, it takes place, I think, so it came out in 1979. So it's called The Devil's 3. So the devil is a drug dealer, a kingpin, I guess you say, Lucifer Devlin. Devlin for devil, and Lucifer also devil. He's like double devil, right? Yep. But as you know in the song, where they talk about everyone's like a devil sometimes, everyone's an angel sometimes. It's really catchy. But so sometimes he's super nice. But anyways, he gets mad at his lessers in the drug industry, the illegal narcotics industry. They don't like it, so they kidnap his daughter, or Debbie Devlin. Talk about a Debbie Downer. So he contacts, and this is an amazing name, Cleopatra Wong, who is like a karate expert. She comes up with this A team, this unique individual.
Oh yeah.
Tony Del Rio, who's also a very good karatesman, and Rotunda, who is a clairvoyant, a 305-pound psychic, and they're trying to get his daughter back, the devil's daughter back. So thus they're the devil's three.
Yep.
They come to some situations, but the deal is, obviously Cleopatra Wong, she fights for good and justice. If she's helping out a drug dealer, she wants him to turn himself in to the authorities and give up all his drug contacts and stuff like that. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but
Yeah, no spoilers here.
But I'll just say Cleopatra Wong ain't going down easy. So I'll just leave it there. I'll let you all check it out on rewarded.tv. So
yeah,
just a quick plug.
Have you been eating your sizzle popcorn while watching your rewarded.tv?
Yes, I have. I haven't gotten to all of them, but
I have
very
not
good.
either. Oh man. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I haven't got to all of them, but I like the cheddar better than the Mexican chili. But they're both good. It's like it's not overpowering, but it's not underwhelming. And
yeah, my review
popcorn's
for
not gigantic.
No.
It's great. So it's like popcorn I didn't even know I wanted. So now I definitely want more. Shout out to Dev.
Yeah, no, for sure. They're really good. So I did my review on the maple syrup one. And I would going into it, I was not sure how that flavor combo was going to work.
Yeah.
But you could tell that it was like legit pure maple syrup. Like, I'm a bit of a maple syrup snob. Like, I'm not using any high fructose corn syrup. Like, I like the real deal. Like, grew up in an area where people are making their own syrup, and there's plenty of the pure Vermont syrup nearby. So I could definitely taste that it was pure maple syrup, and it wasn't overwhelming. It was delicious, and I was surprised how good it was. And the other part, like you said, the popcorn, it was all like perfect popcorn. It was perfectly popped, all of it.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. And I don't get popcorn all the time, but you'll get some in the supermarket, or maybe if you're in Quebec, maybe the supermarché. But it's not
Marquet, right?
Sure, potato. But like I said, it's not too powerful, but it's not like underwhelming. Like, what am I eating? You know what I mean? Like, it is like I don't know. It's something I didn't like. He split it down the line of like a perfect popcorn. So
yeah,
I was kind of blown away. I mean, I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't think I was going to like it this much.
Yeah. So my next one that I'm going to review is the Mexican chili one. And I was disappointed with that, but also very surprised by it.
Yeah.
Disappointed because it wasn't spicy. Like, it wasn't like hot spicy. That's what I was expecting, like some heat. I love hot wings. I love hot sauce. So that's what I was expecting it to be. But instead, it was just like this deliciously spiced popcorn that was so good. Like, so it was not what I thought, but it was extremely good still.
It definitely was my favorite, but that one I probably housed more of in a sit-in because I was just like, what is this? So yeah. So I mean, I would definitely get it again. I definitely would eat it again.
Yeah. And that goes back to my suggestion to him. I still think like a pineapple habanero with some actual spice would be a great on the popcorn. I wasn't sure at first because I thought the Mexican chili one was going to be like spicy as in hot, but it wasn't. So just throwing that out there. Pineapple habanero.
Could I just go a bit further and throw out a suggestion to Sizzle Dev?
Yeah, why don't you?
Friend of the Pinecast, obviously, official popcorn supplier of the Pinecast.
Yeah.
But you don't have to commit to it, but you could do a special edition Pops and Mags pineapple habanero.
Ooh.
And test that and test that out. I think that's, you know what I mean? You don't have to commit to it, Do it
Yeah.
as like a trial run, you
Yeah.
know? So,
Listen, we got
you know,
tens and tens.
we definitely got tens and tens.
And you know, I'd buy some. That's for sure.
You'd buy some, I'd buy some, Chief
Yep.
would buy some.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, and we'll tell Baller and Swampy to buy some, because did you see Swampy's first place finish tonight by chance?
Yes, in the I forget what it's called now.
Removable feast thing, right?
No, I didn't see
no?
that.
Oh yeah, so they took the top 10 bids.
Yeah.
There was an auction, a movable feast auction
Oh, that ended today?
that ended today,
Oh,
and he definitely went. He kind of went like Stallone in that. I forget the name of it, but it's hands down the best movie on arm wrestling I've ever seen. Over the
okay.
top, right?
Yep.
Get it, hands down.
Yes.
I don't know.
I get it. I felt like
All right.
yes.
Right. What was my point with that?
He won the auction.
Oh yeah, he won it by like, hundreds and hundreds. Like I think it was like he was like 2,200 or something. I mean, I could pull it up, but we're not that good. But
No,
and I think,
that wasn't the movable feast. That was the
Was it?
HGH
No?
one. No.
Oh, right. My bad.
Yeah, come on, man. Get it
All right.
together. That was
My
the
bad.
that was
Okay, bring me back in.
it was the HGH one. It was part of the HGH drop. It's the one where 10 of them get minted. So you had to have
Yeah.
a top 10 bet, and you get all the airdrops. You're automatically, as long as it's not for sale, when the airdrop hits, you get the airdrop for holding it.
Okay.
And thank you for bringing this up, because I actually want to talk about this for a second. I was watching that counting down, and I was thinking about it, possibly going to put a bid in, but the bids, like last time I got ran out of it right at the end. And the bids, they did the same thing this time. They all ran up. So the cheapest one was 1,100, and it was frantic towards the end. But that other one where it's like the Theta thing and they're walking out of it,
Yeah.
I'm watching the clock tick down, and I was going to click buy to try to get the last one
The last
minted.
one.
Dude,
Yeah.
it went from 7 seconds left to sold out to done. I was furious. I was furious. And the same, like, so the auction did the same thing. So it was like the clock was off by 7 seconds, and they just killed it.
Maybe internet's not as fast.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I had it open on 2 screens. I was watching that on one, and I was watching the auction on the other, and it went just gone. So I don't know if somebody got screwed out of it too, because it was like there was, if you check out the bids on the actually I don't know if you can see them anymore, but whoever came in 10th place won by $1. It was like all by $1 at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just didn't put it together that that's what it was. I just saw art. I mean, I guess it's all art, right? But I was like, oh, it looks like a paint, and I didn't even look at like the detail or anything like that.
Yeah, it's all pugs. Yeah.
Shame on me.
Yeah, you had me. You threw me for a loop there, because I thought that's where you were going, and it was where you were going, but you weren't going there.
Right. Sometimes I have the best intentions, but
well, you know what they say about having the best intentions.
No, I don't.
Well, never mind then. Got anything else over there you want to rant about before we
Can I
throw
just
it to the
give
next
you?
segment?
I think that's but can I just give you one more ranch blue cheese-ish story real quick?
Please.
That I just thought about.
The people are dying to hear it.
So, anyways, my position, I had to schedule this training for these people that I work with in Pennsylvania. So, anyways, it was just a pain in the ass to get all the paperwork done for this training they were doing, and we went out to dinner. So it was a few nights. We went out to dinner, like every night, like normal people, they have dinner. There was a big group of us, and we got in this restaurant, because we had such a big group, and they, appreciated, I don't know, whatever. They gave us a bunch of appetizers on the house. I don't know, there must have been like 20 of us or something around, a bunch of tables. And I'm sitting next to this guy, and he doesn't work in my office. He works someplace else. So he was waiting forever to get his alcoholic beverage. I think it involved whiskey or something. I'm not a whiskey drinker. He ordered it, it didn't come. Then he had to go to the bartender and ask him like what happened and how to get it. And so it took him a while to get his drink. He comes back with his drink. Then we get these appetizers for free, you know? So, you know, there's 3 of them split amongst, you know, however many people there, right? And so it's not always directly in front of you. It's like one of those, you know, like remember like the sides to go? It was like a platter of like appetizers. So I saw some wings and I went to go grab a wing and there was blue cheese and I dipped it in the blue cheese and then I pulled it back and I'm coming in at an angle. And then as I'm pulling it back, some of the blue cheese drops into his drink. And then
that's awesome.
So anyways, I said, I was like, oh, hey, man. And I got a feeling this guy, you know, it's just some people are aggressive and, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was like, hey, man, I got, you know, blue cheese in your drink. And he's like, he fucking lost it. And he is going off at me. Going off. He's like, that's disgusting, blah, blah, blah. But then he says to me afterwards, and he still holds it over to me to this day. And I was thankful I didn't have to go on the training with those guys this year. And he says, if it was ranch, I would have drank it no problem. But blue cheese was the absolute death to him in his whiskey drink. So, you know, I didn't intend to do that, but yeah, public enemy number 1 because I got a little blue cheese in his drink. So go figure or something.
Oh man. You and your stories, dude. That's amazing. So yeah, dude. Well, we had an awesome guest on this week. You know, before Pinderson Cooper. You know that guy?
Yo, yeah, big fan.
Yeah. Well, before he was news, there was T News, and he's coming up
after these messages.
This week's episode is brought to you by Sizzle Popcorn. Visit them at sizzlepopcorn.com and grab some popcorn in your choice of flavor. Lightly salted, cheddar, maple syrup, salt and vinegar, Mexican chili, and even ketchup? Is that serious? The perfect snack for gamers, streamers, and everyone earning our play at rewarded.tv. Also take a look on Tdrop.com to find their NFTs.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Pops and Mags gives you the hot scoop on the lowdown. But we are not talking about the fake news, NFTs removed from Tdrop news, or any news from A to S. Tonight, we are giving you the T News, or AKA Theta News. T News, welcome to the Pinecast. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you, man. I was wondering where he was going to go with this. I wasn't sure if he was going to start bringing up like different types of tea or letters of the alphabet, but he did hit the letters of the alphabet, so I was 50% right in my head.
You hit the over. Yeah.
All right. So how you doing, man?
Doing good. You know, definitely happy to be here. Happy to be one of the tens and tens of listeners.
Well, we appreciate
I get
that.
excited every Tuesday to see that tweet come out so I can, on my way dropping my daughter off at daycare, I can listen to the podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that is awesome. When I think T News, when I think Theta News, dude, you impress me as like being the guy that like knows everybody within the community. I don't know how you do it, but you just seem like that guy. Like if there's somebody looking to try to find somebody, it's like, oh, go just ask T News. He knows how to find them. So how do you do it, man? How do you do it?
Way too many hours on Twitter and Discord.
We actually just recently had a bit of a race that we didn't know we were running against each other for that metal print last week. And you somehow, I was trying to find this person. I was like, I have no idea who this is. You know, I looked in an SPS Discord. I'm looking in different places. And all of a sudden, you reach out to me right as soon as I did the deed. And you're like, you show me like who this person is on Twitter. I could not believe it that you had gotten through to her. And I was lucky to have gotten there just in time, it seems like, huh?
Oh man, you definitely snaked that one. I was eyeing that one for a long time, and yeah, I did some investigation work, found her on Twitter. So she was private, so the only way I could message her was for her to follow me back, and I'm literally going through and liking all of her
Ah,
tweets to try to get her attention to follow me, so I can message her and be like, "Hey, I want to buy your
oh
metal print."
man,
She wouldn't do it, and but yeah, I was happy to see you got it, and
that's
man, that
wild. I didn't realize that part of the story. So you were putting in the work on that one too.
I was trying. I was trying my hardest. I was like, let me try to connect with this person who clearly had no idea what she was holding.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I think there's
yeah, I think
there's
that's
one more out there. Yeah.
is there? Yeah, there's got to be maybe one that, or I think we've
Pine from
probably
the
hit
Big Apple. I don't know if you know that guy, but
Ah,
he's out there somewhere. But yeah, no. So normally I had to get that out there. That was like kind of been on my mind. It was pretty crazy, pretty crazy day that was. But dude, so how did you tell us about your crypto story? Like, how did you get into crypto? How did you get into Theta?
Yeah, it's not that exciting, to be honest. I've always been someone who liked investing in the stock market, things like that, and always stayed away from crypto, to be honest with you. Like Bitcoin never really thought it would catch on.
Yep,
So I kind of missed that boat.
me
And
too.
then yeah, should have listened to Max.
I was waiting for Mags to say something, but yeah,
No, that's great.
yeah,
T News is a true follower. This is great.
he
He's the one that
is. He
did
is.
that.
This is awesome.
Amazing.
Approved. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I think it was like 2021, early 2021. My buddy, we're out golfing. He's like, "Dude, you gotta get into Theta. You gotta look at Theta. This is the one." He's trying to explain it to me, and he's like, "It's gonna be the tolls of the internet, and with the DRM, and this is the one." And he was showing me all of his gains, and Theta I think was probably like $9 or something like that. And so I was like, "All right, let me start, seeing what's going on. Let me set up this MetaMask. How the hell do you do this shit?" I couldn't get it. I couldn't even buy it, right?
Yep.
You have to go through like Change Angel. You got to
Oh
do all these
yeah,
steps.
yeah.
I'm like, this is a scam. Like, what is this? And finally started kind of doing my research, started buying some Theta, buying some T Fuel, and it was just such a pain in the ass, to be honest. What really got me hooked
Yep.
was Tdrop, on the NFTs.
Okay. So was Tdrop your first NFT experience?
Yeah, I would say I got into Tdrop. That was really what I got really hooked on. I think it was probably like early May, June, when the Tdrop came out. Started seeing the utility and collecting some of the NFTs, and I was like, all right, this is kind of like opening like an old school like baseball card or
Yeah.
NFL card, and I was like, all
Yep.
right, I like this. This is kind of cool. And at that point, I think Theta just started like dipping and dipping. I was like, oh, what kind of investment did I get myself into? This is terrible. Like I was just
Yeah.
bashing my buddy. It's like,
Yep.
thanks a lot. And yeah, just started trying to do a little bit more research into Theta, into crypto, understanding the technology and how the decentralized, finance and how this could really be utilized, and why this made sense. And I think it was, the NFT craze just started taking off, like with Bored Ape Yacht Club,
Oh yeah.
and I was just like, holy shit, like maybe there's some really some big money here, and just kind of got hooked on it.
So how did you become Theta News? Like where did that come from?
I was originally, I've really never into Twitter. I actually had COVID and I was like laying in bed for a couple of days, just isolated. And I was like, everyone seems to be on Twitter, doing research, anything crypto is Twitter. So I was like, all right, let me create a Twitter handle. I was like,
Yep.
I don't really see anything like tracking Theta or like the information about Theta. And so I was like, all right, Theta tracker, like let's do that. And just started posting, tweeting. I started doing a lot of research with the white papers. Started, putting some information out there for not only my own knowledge, but hopefully, to gain some followership and to educate others who wanted to get into Theta, who maybe have not really known about it. I still feel like there's a lot of people that don't know about Theta. I feel like it's like a hidden gem in the
Yeah,
crypto
definitely.
space.
Agreed.
Yeah, like all Katy Perry's fans.
Oh man.
Exactly.
Too soon.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on that nostalgia store.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, especially baller. We love you,
Coming
Waller.
soon, though, I heard.
And maybe that golden lion will show up at ThedaCon. You never know.
Oh man,
The
that'd be something.
$600,000 plus golden lion.
Jesus.
No, the big, huge one.
Yeah.
How cool
Yeah,
would
so
that be?
yeah, I think it's in Mitch's yard right now.
It's possible. Mad Katie fan 696969, something like that, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, exactly. Still very confused at who actually purchased that.
Yeah. Shouldn't be hard to track. Just can probably see it from the moon, actually. So, I mean, when you look at your Twitter, like you got a ton of followers, dude. So that's basically just from getting out there and just like hammering away with news about Twitter. And, I know you weren't big into like posting big sales too for a while from Tdrop.
Yeah, it felt like that before. Some smarter people than me created like some sales bots. That was kind of one thing I started doing. I felt like once the NFT craze and SPS was blowing up, like everyone wanted to, get hyped about their project, maybe the sales that were going on. I thought that was a great way to really share the success of the projects and Tdrop. And I started anytime there was like a big sale. I would post that. It was kind of like going at it with the Theta tracker theme. And then I don't know what it was. I think one day it just kind of, one of my tweets went viral. It was crazy. I think my phone just started blowing up with like retweets and follows.
Do you remember which tweet it was?
I think it was something like posted about the white paper, and I think a couple of maybe some of the bigger crypto accounts picked it up, retweeted it, and off it went. And then I got to give a big shout out to the Theta Research Squad. They seem to enjoy some of my posts. They offered to allow me into their group. And,
oh, nice.
Been there since maybe midsummer, and those guys are awesome. So big shout out to the Theta Research Squad, TRS. Some really smart, affluent, people within the Theta community just doing some amazing things. We do like a Friday night chat every Friday night, and have some beers and just kind of talk about the week of what happened in Theta, what happened in crypto. They do a lot of planning for ThedaCon. They do a lot of planning of like, what's going to be the use case for Theta and really help us with the adoption curve. So Doc Theta's in there, TFL Inferno, Amor,
URP.
URP. Yeah, there's just so many good people in there. Even Andrew Lunde will show up in there some Friday nights. Him and Amor, who is I think he was a developer for Microsoft back in the day. They'll be chatting every Friday night, and I'll be like, "Holy crap!
Wow.
I have no idea what they're talking about. It's way over my head." But some pretty cool stuff when they get to talking about the crypto technology, some of the coding and the use cases. So it's interesting. It's definitely been a fun hobby. My wife hates it. But it's definitely been entertaining for sure.
So one of the hot topics lately has been Tdrop and the governance and kind of how it's being distributed. Do you have any thoughts on that? Are you big on Tdrop? Do you like get some insights from you there?
Yeah, I guess that was a hot topic in TRS as well. So I don't want to disclose too much, but I think that there is some concern about what's the ultimate use case for Tdrop. If the governance and the voting rights are going to be so unattainable for the community to reach, like what is it really doing?
Yeah. I think part of the problem with the 500 million right now is like the community just doesn't have 500 million. Like when all what is it, 20 billion total? Is that right?
Sounds right.
I believe it's 20 billion. I mean, once all 20 billion are out there, then 500 million is attainable. But right now, it seems like it's not, and it just kind of hard to get a vote through to right the ship here, because it just seems like the Tdrop rewards for using a lot of T fuel on Tdrop, it's pointless. You don't get anything.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tdrop, to be honest with you. I use it for the VIP bronze, so I can use T fuel only offers.
Yep,
which
exactly.
I appreciate that, but other than that, I don't really see a use case for it. I don't stake it. Anytime I do get Tdrop, I swap it for Theta or T Fuel. I've seen like crazy for crypto and some of the others kind of pumping Tdrop, thinking it's going to make a big move. I just don't see it.
Do you think it's worthwhile to get silver status to ensure a seat or a wait list ticket?
That's interesting. It could be. When they were pumping out some of the airdrops, some of those airdrops were pretty rare for the silver and gold people. So they seem to try to incentivize and reward those holders. But I think there was one opportunity where I think Passaways did a silver a Tdrop airdrop, and I was like, well, what's to stop me from just getting silver for the day, getting the airdrop, and then selling off my Tdrop? And I ended up doing that. And I think your VIP status then also has like a silver ring around the bronze. If you ever noticed that, I think it's Theta's way of tracking like who did that or who switched from silver to bronze or bronze.
No kidding.
Yeah, so if you ever look at that, maybe to cut the line for especially some good drops that are coming up right now with like HGH Pudge and the Foos Wars, it might be beneficial. So you can definitely get one because those are probably going to sell out very quickly.
It was really the only, my buddy Theta Club, friend of the Pinecast, he brought that point up to me, and it was his point, like, if Tdrop does and get bigger at some point and, a lot more people come in, then at that point I could see there being a benefit to the silver badge. Right now it seems kind of pointless, but like you said, with this HGH drop tomorrow, and like you said, with the Fuse Wars coming up from Ivory and Symbiotes, it could be beneficial. Absolutely. So it's kind of a thought in the back of my head of maybe that's a move to make, but I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence here about it.
Yeah, if you're thinking of pure appreciation and you're going to make some gains on that, I'm not sure. But if you think it's going to help with an airdrop or get you an NFT drop that you want, then maybe it could be beneficial.
I'm just confused with this whole thing. This is because it's Theta drops in beta, they keep saying, or I keep being told that they're in beta too. It doesn't seem like they're bringing people in, and now people are trying to decide, is it worth it to even have a bronze? And then people are stuck with cash that are US dollars in other countries, right? Now they got to figure out what to do with that. They either got to buy something in US dollars. So I think they're alienating a lot of people with it, and also not bringing people in. And then just side note, I feel like depending on the drop, but usually it seems like their goal is to get these drops out and then forget about them and just go on living their life. Then there's no way to get them off there yet, because whatever. So I think there's a whole bunch of issues, and it seems like I don't think it's the greatest idea if they're in beta to come up with this archaic system of Tdrop rewards that's supposed to go one way, and then we're I don't know how many hundreds of years off of what it's supposed to be. And there's I don't know where the leadership is with anyone with that. But that's just me.
Yeah, it would be a great mechanism in place in Tdrop if you could convert USD to T Fuel. But I know there's some regulations. We've talked about that in TRS about becoming an exchange, and it seems like Mitch and the Theta Labs legal team has really cautioned and tried to stay away from that. Also, I know it's a running joke beta for Tdrop. It was never really a priority for them, for Theta Labs. It appears it was more CAA driving them into that as a way to market their creators and their artists. And CAA got caught up in the hype of just the NFTs, and we're really trying to push that onto some of their creative artists, a way to generate additional revenue streams. So I think Theta Labs is smart. They're a small lean company that really tailors to their large investors, and you got to respect that. Sony, Samsung, CAA, right? Unfortunately, me and you, right, we're not even a part of the ecosystem, right?
That's true, and I'm okay with that.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
God mode unlocked. I still don't get it. If they come off there, then everyone's happy.
We're seeing changes. You guys are making a difference, right? They just changed the wait list, right? So
Yes.
slowly but surely, you're making an impact.
Yeah.
Well,
Mags
what's-
is too humble to take credit for
What-
that.
No, I'll share the credit with you. That's fine. But
Okay.
what's going to happen first? God mode unlock is gone, or we're on there. What's going to happen first?
You know, Mags, you created a lot of waves, so I'm going to say God mode unlock being removed.
God mode unlocked is they're going to get removed, and Pops and Mags are going to get on there coming soon.
Magnum-sized waves.
But if the community has any problems getting their USD off, they should just buy symbiotes, because that project has been unbelievable. And it's not financial advice, but
right.
I've been buying that up like crazy, and it's done pretty well.
You think?
Yeah. So let's dive into that. So all of a sudden one day, here comes T News, and I mean, you didn't come in cold. Like, you came in swinging. What changed the temperature on you about this one?
God, it was just a drumbeat of people telling me I needed to buy these, and I just wasn't listening. So I could have gotten in a lot earlier. I was just too stubborn, and just finally, I just saw the buzz around the community. Ivory Jones sometimes would hop into TRS for the Friday night chats, and just getting to talk to him and his passion about the project, seeing his wife, Crypto Queen, and how much their whole family is involved in that success of the community and the project. I was just like, this guy's it. Like, this is what you want from a creator, a founder.
Absolutely.
So I've had the fortunate privilege of modding and getting to know some of the founders of project creators, like James from SPS, Mike from Passaways, Psycho KO, Rob Feldman, and Ivory. Just their passion. Everyone's different. Everyone does things differently, and just I was drawn to the way Ivory communicates, the way he lives his project every day, and it's become a part of his family's life. And just it's just unbelievable what he's doing, and just at that point, I was just like, all right, maybe not be early in this project, but I'm certainly not going to be late.
Yeah, I mean, you were still early for sure, because basically what this project is now, it was probably not until you got in that it kind of took the turn to where it is. Like, what this project is now is not what it was when it originally dropped. It's crazy how much changes have been made, and he just goes with the flow with the community, what the community wants. He just, this guy is like definitely all about the community, and is just so appreciative of the following. And yeah, just obviously an amazing artist and creator as well. And the fact that the family is involved, like, in so many ways is wild and very cool.
Yeah, and I think the play to earn and the gaming and the metaverse and the minting and everything they're doing, like, that's going to really, in my opinion, be the next phase in the bull run for crypto. It would be the gaming and the play to earn. So, talk about utility. What Ivory does for his community, right? He's able to pivot when there needs to be a pivot. When there's a mistake, he rectifies that immediately, whether it's his mistake or Tdrop's mistake. I think he just dropped those Dragon Prime to 3 of the community members who had redeemed them. Like, that was sick. Like, he's just constantly over communicating, involved day in and day out. It's so some of the other project founders need to take notice, and maybe take a
like you said, everyone's got a different kind of personality, but I think the one thing that really kind of sets him apart was just his willingness to, and his desire to have the community be more of a part of it, and like be part of the team. Like, he's taken in myself and Smack and Cheese and T Fuel Inferno and TZC and I don't know how you say this one, Lulu. But yeah, I mean, just taking from the community and bringing into the team. Like, instead of kind of like boxing himself off, he's made himself open, and it's really awesome.
Can I say something about that? Because I agree with that, but also too, because Ivory's been on here and he's been working this project for a long time, and he's still working
Yeah.
it. I'm saying I'm saying that's awesome that he is the way he is, and I love him for that. It's great, but these other projects didn't have that. Not to say, hey, why didn't they? But they didn't have that, so they're in a different. Uh, all these projects are all different. Like so, Theta, the Thetaverse and the Symbies. We're talking about games. Pineapples were slowly going to go into the metaverse, and some of the other projects, Creators Club, nothing. But everyone everyone has everyone has like their own thing that most of them are trying to. A lot of them are figuring out. He already has a freaking huge head start, and he's a passionate, smart dude. So I'm just saying, not everyone's going to be Ivory. So
Yeah,
I'll
no,
agree.
definitely not. He's a special human being. He's got a mind for business too. But like you said, like everyone has different strokes, right? Everyone does things differently. And what I think the community doesn't realize is how much pressure these creators are under to satisfy this thirst of more that the community wants. And it's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. And I almost feel bad for some of the creators at times because they're also handcuffed to some of the decisions that Tdrop makes and some of the mistakes
Oh
that
yeah.
Tdrop makes, unfortunately.
yep.
Yep.
So, I think us as a community need to do a little bit better job of giving some grace to some of these. None of these projects are trying to pull a rug. None of these
Agreed.
Good
projects are
boy.
trying
Good
to
boy.
make us lose money or invest more money than we have, right? They're trying to create an amazing project for themselves, for the community, and that they're passionate about. Yeah, I'll get off my soapbox.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, you brought up how Ivory's great at business. And, there was something that you dropped in the Discord a while back. Speaking of business, seems like you're going to be opening your own.
Yeah, I think I've looked at NFTs and some of these projects as like an investment. So
Absolutely.
it's similar. I created a Dragon Prime LLC, registered that with the IRS because I do think there's going to be a ton of money to be made in this, and I can't wait to be an arms dealer and start selling you guys some guns
That's
because I
amazing.
think yeah, my accountant probably won't be too happy with it, but it's another conversation, another date. Hopefully, it'll be a good conversation because of the revenue streams that are coming in.
Yeah.
And I'm a little long in the tooth, so I think my gaming days are over. I'm not very good at Call of Duty, so I'll probably be more of a renter than a player because I don't want to lose my VROAs or some of my Tverse tokens. But
Yeah, exactly.
excited for what's to come, and I'm just trying to plan accordingly. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, now, my outlook on this is similar. Like I'm trying to gather up these NFTs that I think have passive income capabilities. And I don't think people understand what this is still. There's so many people that just they don't get it, right? And having these dragons, it's more than just passive income. It's almost like passive, but at the same time, you can actively use it and earn outside of the game by minting and upgrading weapons for others and then selling them in the marketplace. I've never heard of anything like it. And I'm super happy to have as many as I have, knowing how many there are. It's crazy.
Yeah, you've been hoarding a stack of them, that's for sure.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, my wife, she's like, what is this metal print here? Like, you're gonna hang this in the house, put it in the garage.
Oh man.
I know. So hopefully I'll win her over here. Once she starts seeing the money flow. But yeah, I think you forget the appreciation of the NFT itself, right? Because they're so rare. And the
Yeah.
demand's going to be so high too. So yeah, I think with a lot of these projects and the Discord, it takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of effort to understand all the different projects, the ins and outs. And I think you guys mentioned on one of your podcasts, it's just hard to keep up with all the different projects that are going on.
Absolutely. It's impossible.
And it's impossible. And so, with all the stuff I got going on personally with my family and my daughter and just, work in real life, it's hard to keep up. So I've tried to narrow my focus on the projects that I think I can really get behind and I think are going to be super successful. So you can't be in all of them. But if you are going to invest in a project, do your research because there's a lot of stuff that you can find out and make yourself some money.
So go all in on BitBoy. Got it.
Did you see his rant on Twitter?
No.
Oh my God, you got to watch that.
Oh, okay.
I saw it. Chief O'Leary had the link to it. Yeah. BitBoy doesn't represent me. I'll just say that.
I just wrote that down. This I'm not going to lose like a timestamp. So.
Yeah, he's for the people. And
yeah. He's doing this for me and you. even though that guy, there's this one follow on Twitter that I just absolutely love. This guy, I think it's Zach BTC or something like that. And this guy he finds scammers and just exposes them all the time. And he did it to BitBoy. BitBoy's got this like big thing. Oh, you want to get pumped? Like, here's what it costs. He pretended that he was going to like create a coin and send it to BitBoy. And, BitBoy just sends him like, oh, you want, what level of service do you want? And here's what each of it costs. So kind of sketchy, but whatever.
Yeah, they'll all have their day eventually, right? With the SEC cracking down, and we'll see. I think the crypto space does need some regulation. We need some clear rules of the road. I think that'll help a lot of bigger business adopt cryptocurrencies. I think that'll give a little bit more direction for Theta Labs. I think that's why you see them focusing overseas a lot more than in the States.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I know, obviously, like we said, it's impossible to get in to every project. But one project that you were big in, obviously, this is the Pinecast. You had a bunch of pines at one time, and you actually had the Maxi Pine, right? The from the Gladiator guy. And I believe that you got him pretty much right before Pine Madness started, and you snuck him in Team Magnum real last minute.
T News, let me speak this. I think what happened was T News wanted to be on Team Popper, and he got in last because Popper already finished the brackets, and I said, hey, T News, just got Maxi Pine and the Maximus one, and he wants in, and I think he needs to be in. So then we bumped probably someone from my team's million posts because we had a lot of people submit a lot of pines, and then Popper had just like one or two from people.
Yeah, Wolvie and Simple Pine put like 10 each.
And Zilla
put 3. All his stayed, I think.
You guys deserve a lot more credit than what you get for putting that together, because that was a big undertaking, and I apologize for my late entry. I just felt like I couldn't enter totally with like a floor.
Well, no, that's one way to come in.
I thought you bought it right as we did it, and I was like, we got to get this in there. So
sugar baby, right?
Yeah, she just started hating as well as like just leaving in a ball of fury after she took her money and she ran, and she just shit on everyone.
Yeah, I hate this project. Oh, here you win. Yeah, that was great.
Popper, who did we have on who was like, hey, Sugar Baby gets a bad rap?
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Oh, I think it was Mac. I could be wrong. I think it was Mac. But
yeah, only he would say something like that.
Bad takes.
Big shout out to Mac though. And all the other SPS mods. They're doing a great job. I feel like SPS has really turned a corner, especially once Catch Nenny came in.
Yeah.
Chef Pun, Charizard, Disturbance. They're all doing a great job, really keeping that community engaged. James has been a lot more active, and I'm excited for what's going to come. I'm still a big believer in SPS. It's been great to me. I definitely made some good money in that project. And
Yeah, I mean, I think we echo that, right? I think that we can feel the change as well. As soon as Catch got in there and, Max started just kind of went off the reservation originally, just doing his thing. And, they just kind of ran with it. They appreciated it. And, it's funny because Mac is in one of our little side groups that we have. And I noticed the other day
You
that he's
bailed.
no longer in that group. And I called it out. I'm like, what's going on here? And Catch was just like, yeah, he doesn't need the distractions right now. I think he's busy. So not sure what he's got cooking, but he's probably putting ranch on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's been the blue chip project for Tdrop. It's been the art's just so amazing. James is just an incredible artist, and I think I'm very fortunate because I've gotten to know him personally over these last, it's got to be almost a year now, and
Yeah.
he's just a great human being. Really thoughtful, really caring person, world traveler, a little bit more of an introvert, but he's just a great guy. And I think sometimes the pressure of the community and how that project exploded during the height of
Yep.
the NFTs, like I think that also got Tim.
Yeah, I think you had a handful of people that just wanted it to turn immediately into Bored Ape Yacht Club and this and that. And yeah, people's expectations were just way out of hand for sure.
But yeah, I think this is a great time to get into SPS. I'm excited to see what they got going on for ThedaCon and what that SPS Open Theta NFT is going to provide.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what's and all these Halloween contest drawings.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good. Excited to see who the winner of that is. Mag's pulling customs now. Like what's going on? Right? Things are definitely changing.
That might have been the change right there, actually.
Yeah, everything's upside down now. So things are moving, starting to move in SPS. But T News, I was looking at your collection. It looks like you only have one pine, right? Correct?
Yeah, I only have one now.
I also was peeking in your slugs, and I'm not as big of them. I like them. I don't like them as much. Man, you got some stellar ones. I can tell just by looking at them.
Oh yeah,
right on the top.
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed the Passaways project. I like the creator Mike and what he's doing there, and some of the things he's developing. He's definitely someone who I admire. Everyone has different flavors, right? I think they're a little bit different than SPS, and I don't want to compare, but definitely been a big fan of them. I just got this green Theta VR one from Chief. Shout out to Chief O'Leary. Hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. And got that one. That one's probably one of my favorites. I got a couple of other customs that I picked up. Excited to see what that project has. There's a lot of things coming down the pipeline too, with some of the transforms, eating the gummies. But to your question about my pine mags, I've become like a SPS like pine snob. Like there's a few I'm eyeing, and they're mostly customs. So it's like I'm trying to find work out some good deals in this market. I've been trying to get a good deal on Blanca. I keep eyeing that one, but I just haven't pulled the trigger.
She's open to do business.
She is. She's pretty firm though on her price. And then there's been a couple others who seem to want to maybe sell some customs. So you might see my collection change a little bit.
Cool.
I think I need to go your strategy though and start buying up containers.
That's not a good strategy. Are you kidding me? Terrible strategy.
Trump pine is still there though, right?
I'll just say yes, he is. He's still out there.
So do you think he's held in maybe for an airdrop, or do you actually think he's in a container?
He's in a container. I'm fair. I'm 100% sure he's in a container.
Do you think he's in the?
He's not in an 888 container either.
Ooh, okay.
So
Magnum PI over here.
We'll just say that there might have been some PI work going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I have my eye on I think we had a debate on whether it was a Darth pine goo or a
Yes.
Deadpool pine
I
goo?
believe, yeah, and James, I think, did chime in eventually. I brought something up a while ago about it, and it became a big debate. I mean, as they tend to, for like a day. And I was convinced it was like a Deadpool, and then he didn't chime in on it. And then I think eventually later someone said something, and then he said it's a Darth pine goo.
Yeah, so I have my eye on that one. If that one comes,
Oh
if
yeah.
someone finally uncanisters that one, I think I'll probably put a few offers on that one.
Hey, so T News, can I ask you this? So the guy who actually owns the Dole pool, he is the individual. I don't know if you know who he is. I mean, maybe you do. He shows his name up, but he has 88 containers.
He does, and once in a while I'll send him an offer on one of his containers, and he never accepts it ever.
Which I get, and then interesting enough, so because I got nothing to do with my life, and I counted at least 24 cans he has from the 888 drop. There may be more. I just was going through like the ones on the bottom individually, and he bought them all off the market, obviously, because I couldn't even get one on the 888 drop. So he may have more, but that is an insane amount of cans. I think I'm at 80 cans right now. I think 81 is the record of cans opened. So even if I get 2 more cans and break the record, that guy could instantly win it. I have a feeling he might have some customs, better luck on customs than me. But then again, you buy 1 can, you get 2 customs. That's a pretty good deal too. So
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And did you say you actually clicked on all the canisters and looked at the contract?
What I was doing, I went down like on my, because it sucks because you have to go back in and go down. So yeah, so I went up at least. I went up, I think, over 5 rows from the bottom. Eventually, I hit a non one, and I think I was telling Popper, and I'm like, I think Popper was like, yeah, he probably has more than that. But I just, at that point, I was like, I don't even want to look anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But
I remember specifically that guy going nuts that first week of the drop, just buying canisters, like right around $1,500 they were, and he was just piling them up. And I'd be surprised, Mags, if this guy or girl opens them, because why would you open them now? Like I feel like he's just sitting on them gonna have to sell some of them, I would think. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't, if I had cans, I wouldn't be able to sell them because I would open them too fast. But
Yeah, but this person's been sitting on them for coming up on 11 months.
yeah, so
It's crazy.
he's probably going to open them soon then. Come in soon.
In a few weeks.
As soon as we can take our NFTs off the Tdrop, he's going to open them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was hoping it's probably I don't know. It's kind of cool that I'm a fan that I don't know what your take is, T News, but I'm kind of a fan. I like this like pack canister thing, that Tdrop has a lot of these. You don't know what it is, instead of just like minting it from something. And I also though kind of want to see them all. They should do some like EMP thing and just like shatter all of them. And
yes, I agree.
Like, yeah, because if you want to get to like maybe by the time the Grove opens, maybe the can already has to be opened or something. I don't know, but
That was the second EMP reference, by the way.
So shoot! Shout out to us for our second EMP reference. Popper, we'll count the EMP references from now on too. Just like
it's a thing. You made it a thing. Yeah.
Yep. I didn't plan on that. But T News, did you get a pine from the 888 drop?
I did. I was very fortunate and lucky. I was like, all right, I'm going all in on SPS. This is definitely going to be the it project on Tdrop. So I kind of scrounged up all my funds, was lucky enough to get an 88 can. I ended up getting a rice hat with the gold claws with the duck shirt.
Oh, wow.
That's the second most rare one.
I ended up selling that one for a decent amount. I've sold all my pines, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't
think there's many rice hats, male or female, left. So
Yeah, this was in the free for all days of Tdrop and not knowing
Oh
what you
man,
had.
oh my
yeah,
god, that was
exactly.
the best.
God, the best. I literally told my wife, I was like, babe, this drop's happening. I'm staying up all night. Like, leave me alone. Like,
Yeah.
I basically told my wife, I was like, I'm staying up all night and I'm buying and selling all these pines because you had no idea what you were getting, and there
Yeah.
was no rarity chart. And
Yep.
I had done some research on their website, their Instagram. So I was like looking out for ones that I wanted. And I ended up snagging 2 customs early on and
Oh,
just
nice.
put my credit card in. I was like, oh, there's Leo pine. And then there was the red beast pine. And I was like, they're for like $2,000 or something like that. I was like, credit card information, boom, buy it. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, yes.
Yeah.
And I think I started collecting like all the pine goos. I started collecting like the gold crown ones, just things that I thought were rare.
Right. And they
And
are.
then just, yeah, they ended up, working out pretty well. But that was the crazy days. And now, people would post them for like $100, $1, and you would be able to snipe some. And it was a free for all back in the day. Now
Well, like,
Oh
there's all the
yeah.
there
warning
was legitimate
signs.
mistakes before, like people put $1, right?
Yeah, like
Yep.
they were.
Yep.
I don't. And definitely made out like a bandit on a few. Unfortunately, sorry to whoever that
No, that's
affected.
that's awesome. So I missed. I think I was ahead of Sheriff, but I think I missed it by, I don't know, 20 or 15 or something. The 888 Minton. And so in Sheriff, this was my first Sheriff. This was like the first NFT thing he got me into, and it was
Yep.
the Pines. And I've mentioned before, so excited because it's the art is just. I'd rather. I mean, if price is not a thing, like I'd rather have a pineapple than an ape or a monkey, or
Yeah.
I just love them. Since it was my first drop, I didn't know what to do, and so obviously I missed it, and I was like kicking myself. But the weird thing was, so it was a week difference before the main drop afterwards, right? The prices, and I'm like, those are high, but then in the back of my head, I go, because I wanted to wait, because there's going to be a lot more coming out on the main drop, so I figured prices were going to go down, and it definitely was the opposite, because I'm like, oh, how could they spend this much money? And then it seemed like so I stayed away from the open market on the 888 drop. It seems like it just continued to go like crazy.
Oh, it was nuts. So on that the second week, right, when they did
Yep.
the other 8,000, I was locked and loaded. So I had sold that rice gold claw, and I think I got like $4,000 for it. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to dump this $4,000 on all these containers. And I was lucky enough to get into the line, got one, and then I noticed at the end it was an open buy because it didn't sell out. And so I'm literally hitting buy refresh. And I think I bought like 12 containers towards the end, and
Yeah.
was very fortunate on that. Opened all of them. Got some. I think I pulled a couple of pine goos from that.
Oh, jeez.
But I was hooked ever since. Like, I was just madness, and feel very fortunate. Definitely made out. In SPS, it's definitely been a successful. And I think that was what was T fuel was like at like 40 cents or something like that. Like, it's crazy to think of like T fuel now. Yeah, when you saw a metal cooler buy, what was it, the One and the Predator for $100,000, you were just like, holy crap.
Right.
I think that just caused the frenzy for everyone to think like, hey, we got to get one of these. This is the Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. These things are going to be worth millions of dollars. And it just took off. It became like a life of its own. And it was a fun ride. That whole I remember my buddy bought a canister. He's like, all right, I'm going to buy, this is my Christmas gift. And, I'm going to open it on Christmas. And he ended up opening a floor. So I was laughing at him.
We know what that's like.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's been a great ride, and excited to see kind of what the next phase 2 is going to be for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Those were definitely some crazy times. I remember just sitting there with the the new listings, like have it sorted by recent listings, hoping that somebody made a mistake,
Yeah.
and just sitting there like refreshing like a
Yes.
madman, like not
Oh
being
my
able
God.
to wake up in the middle of the night and just let me check here quick.
The adrenaline rush that you
Oh.
get is unbelievable. It's like nothing else you can experience. It's just like if you pull a custom or you pull a rare one and you just yeah, you're like a kid again, and it's definitely addicting. And when you're sniping, I think that weekend, right? I have to get LASIK again because it's staring at my computer screen for 24 hours a day. Like my LASIK is wearing off, and I'm wearing glasses again because I would just refresh, and you're hoping to get like score like a great deal because
Yeah.
someone posted something for cheap and they have no idea what they're holding.
Right. Like,
And that-
I mean, the guy who bought the bond, right? I mean, the guy who sold the bond got a 5x. So shout out to him.
Shout out to him,
Oh
yeah,
man,
exactly.
yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah. There's so many, but I still think the art's just so amazing. And it's just like, people, I've never felt so many people connect with their like pineapple or avatar and it become their personality. Like you guys, right? Mags and Popper. It's like,
Yeah,
it's kind of taken its life on its own. And it's really cool to see the community kind of how strong and tight knit they are.
yeah. I remember a few buys where it's just like you see something recently listed and it's like you're just all of a sudden in this hype zone, like your fingers can't move fast enough, like click, 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 like hoping that you get it because so many times when this originally happened, you get to the screen and it's like, NFT can't be found or whatever. So like somebody just nabbed it right before you. I got a pine goo like that, and I got a banana pin like that. It was just like, my heart pounding for like minutes and minutes afterwards from just the super adrenaline rush of trying to race to get them.
Yeah, and then the sad day of warning, you're listing your pineapple
Yeah,
way
yeah,
too low. Are you
yeah.
sure you want to do this?
Yeah, that only works for floors, though. I mean, if someone's going to accidentally list a custom for 1,000, it's going to allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cut down on a lot of deals. And to be honest, I kind of first got a lot of followers on Twitter because I was calling out all the like there was a whole lot of like hacking going on onto Tdrop, and no one was. Seems like people weren't using the 2FA and just pushing people to secure their accounts more. I feel like that has really gone down to a minimum at these days, or at least I don't notice it anymore.
Yeah, I would say Theta probably one of the safer exchanges out there and some of the marketplaces out there. So yeah, if you're not doing 2FA, what are you doing? You got to protect your
Exactly.
assets. And
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it would be nice to get them off of there at some point, though. I know. I'm assuming Passaways is waiting for them to come off for their own purposes as well, right? All these projects are.
Yeah, I think we're just kind of in this standstill. I think the last rumor I heard was one of the devs was on paternity leave, so maybe it's going to happen in November now, but who knows, right?
I heard it
I
wasn't one of. I heard it was the only one that was working on it. So with the Passaways, I know Mags was talking about the ones that you have in your account there. When they first dropped, right, there was some kind of marry the king and queen, right? And you get the princess. Is that how it worked?
Yeah. So yeah, at that point with the Passaways drop, I felt like I was like an NFT expert at that point because I was doing so much trading with SPS.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was like, all right, as the drop came, they do like the first week is like a mini drop, and then the second week typically there's auctions, and then the main drop.
Right.
And so you can see and do some research on like, okay, what are the auctions, and if you actually read some of the descriptions, I think the King Passaway, if you bought that one, it said if you open a pack and you find the queen and you rejoin the king and the queen together, they're going to give you an airdrop of the princess. So I was like, all right, let me figure out how to do this. So the queen actually was in the first drop, and someone had posted it, not really knowing, I think they had a custom or what it could provide. So immediately, once it hit the market, I bought it, and I was like, all right. So either I'm going to be able to control the king or be able to negotiate whoever buys the king, and or I'm going to buy the king and go for it. And so I ended up, winning the auction, and got the princess. I ended up selling the princess to try to recoup back some funds. But yeah, it's been fun. So those type of little challenges is something I
Yeah.
enjoy. I did talk to Mike, and he's like, next time I'm not going to make it so easy because that challenge was supposed to go on for quite some time. And I think he thought that
Sounds
there'd be a
familiar.
lot more. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
right. Yeah, right. More packs would be open, more canisters would be open, and that did not occur because I found them too quickly.
Yeah, somebody opened the
Um,
queen. Yeah.
I was actually
So
talking to him recently about that.
so yeah, I tried to get into the passaways. I do have a passaway, I believe, at this point.
And
But
pack number 2.
oh, and I have a pack. Yeah, I do have pack number 2. That's correct. But my thing was, it's like I could look at a pineapple and basically tell you and have a decent idea of like how rare it was and like how valuable it could be just by looking at it. The passaways, man, they were throwing me curveballs. I could not like some of these ones. They look so cool, and then all of a sudden the rarity comes out, and I'm looking at there, I'm like, yeah, this is a floor, and it just I could not get it figured out. Like even the fire eyes, they look so cool, and I got a couple, and it's like, oh, that's just a normal. So I had a hard time with that.
Yeah, I think if you're going to compare the art from a pine to a passaway, it's night and day. It's not even close. But yeah, I would agree with you. There's certain attributes, and it's like, oh, well, this one looks so cool. Like, why isn't it rare? It
Yeah.
does take a lot of kind of studying. Like the SIs, which are the standard issue ones, I still can't
Yep.
tell them versus a regular one. And I'm just like, I don't see it. But
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I still can't tell the difference with them either. So I agree.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to compare the art either. It was just like you said, it was like the rarity of the attributes. I just couldn't it wasn't I couldn't figure it out. It's like, oh man. So I bought some ones that I thought were going to be more rare, and then I look at them like, oh, I bought floors. Cool.
I'm excited to see what that project does with the plasma token, with some of the games that he's developing. Right now, he's in a quiet mode right now, developing a game and some of these new things that he tries to beta test for Tdrop. So he was the first person to do a pack. If you opened up a pack, you also got your passaway, but you got like a badge. So I think they're gonna start doing some more utility with throwing in certain extras in a pack randomly with the contracts. Different creators, they're the way they go about things. I'm just drawn to them, and appreciate all their hard work. I hope all the projects that on Tdrop are successful, because at the end of the day, that means Theta's successful.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it really just takes one project for, I think, the mass adoption to come. So, definitely love and support Passaways. But I'll tell you this, being a mod for SPS and Passaways, it's not easy. It's like herding cats at times. In the Discord at times, it's like these kids behind their computer screens, they're relentless. And so it's been fun, but it's a full-time job at times to be a mod. So shout out to Lou. Lou is the best mod on Tdrop and in Discord. So that's my guy there. I got to give him a shout out.
Yeah, he's a good guy for sure. All right, and I just wanted to throw in there. I know, back in the day here now, Popper had his Rangers hat on, and I noticed that you were appreciative of that. You're a Ranger fan. Yeah,
big Rangers fan. Originally from New York City. So disappointed to see the Mets, exit the way they did. But hey, hockey's starting up. This could be our year. We say that every year, but
so you're Mets, Rangers?
Mets, Rangers, Jets, and Knicks, unfortunately. So I love the struggle.
So usually it's Mets, Islanders. That's a little twist there.
Yeah, I think growing up, in the Mark Messier, Brian Leach era, when they were really good, and Richter, I was just like, all right.
Yeah, so you were too young for the Islanders to be super good, and just the right. You hit the 94 Rangers basically.
Exactly. Yeah. As a young kid, I was just like captivated by the Rangers in '94 and '95. So, and then all the heartbreaks with the Mets over the years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Mets fan. I'll root for them. I'm not like hating on the Mets, but I just feel like there's something wrong with the pitching coaches in the Mets. It's like they get so much arm talent and then they're always hurt. It's crazy. And now I just turned on like I'm not big watching into sports much anymore, but I saw the game the other night and I'm like, oh man, look at the Phillies pitchers. They're like so many former Mets on there.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Zach Wheeler just dominating right now.
Yeah, one hitter over 7 innings, like just like can't hit him.
You know why that is, Popper, right?
Why?
It's because they're still paying Bonilla.
Bobby Bonilla, yes, the greatest contract of all time.
$1 million man.
That's gonna be
what
our
a genius.
nights.
Yeah. I'll show up every July 1st for my $1 million check. Call me Bobby. It's awesome. Very cool. Well, you got anything else you wanted to cover, T-News?
I would just say super excited to see everyone at ThedaCon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be an amazing community event. I think there's so much work going behind the scenes. So many community leaders are taking time out of their day. Shout out to Brian Macer, Doc, T-Fuel Inferno, Slick. Just putting so much psycho. They're just putting so much effort and time into this and trying to put on the best possible event for us. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. And there's so much more to come. So, get your tickets if you haven't. Stream it if you can't make it to Florida. It's going to be really a good time.
Is the family going to be in tow?
Yeah, So it's funny. We did a research while we were talking about doing like maybe a little like get together, like a little barbecue, because we talk, but we've never actually met each other. And I'm probably like 30 minutes away from La Meridian and like Dania Beach,
nice.
Fort Lauderdale. So I was like, hey, we can have my backyard. We can have a party here. I have a hot tub if you want to invite Kyle.
Oh boy, or Magnum.
Or Magnum. And I think we're just going to meet up maybe a day before at the La Meridian and have a nice little get together. But yeah, looking forward to it. So I'm not sure if I'll get a hotel room or not. I'll probably just drive each day.
Very cool and very convenient.
Yeah, I lucked out there. But I hear rumor is maybe next year. I think maybe they're looking at Austin, Texas, or potentially
that is
Las
what
Vegas.
I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard Austin, Texas.
What was the second potentially one?
I think Las Vegas, maybe year 3.
Okay.
Hopefully, or maybe even Barcelona, Spain.
Well, I would love to be in a position to be there. Things are going to have to change a little bit to make that happen.
No, but I appreciate you guys having me on. This was fun.
Definitely.
Looking forward to getting together, having some drinks at ThedaCon, and appreciate everything you guys are doing for the community, and you keep it entertaining. That's for sure.
No, thanks. It's nice to hear.
We appreciate that, and thank you for joining us. And
thank you so much. Yeah.
We'll be seeing you on the boards, and we're looking forward to got some excitement before ThedaCon coming up, so should be fun. But are you aware? Are you upstate like Stewart's ice cream? Like Stewart's or no?
I don't.
Okay.
So my definition of upstate New York is clearly different than your upstate New York definition for Boston, Mass.
Yours is like the middle of the state.
Yeah.
Geographically. So like around like Mohegan. No, not what is that one over the Turning Stone?
Turning Stone. Yeah, I spent many nights in high school at Turning Stone.
Yeah. Okay, we're familiar with Turning Stone.
Oh yeah, we got some stories.
1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, got a couple.
Extra apps.
Yeah, no, there's no sides to go at Turning Stone.
Yeah, no sense in
Oh man, good stuff. All right, man. Well, hey, this was awesome. We definitely appreciate it, and yeah, thank you.
Hey, I apologize for so many black screens.
It's
Max,
all good.
it's gonna be a lot of editing work for you.
We do apologies.
Popper says that's fine because he doesn't do it. So
You just have to snip that out, Max. We got a apology on there for the record. Put it on the wall of apologies.
all right, we'll do.
Awesome. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
All right. You too.
Take care.
Papa Max Podcast.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a treat at feedthecat.theta. Pops and Mags is a scumbag hat production in association with Kyle's Hot Tub.